Are you for certain you want to do this?
The woman dressed in yellow sorceress robes asked the knight.
I do not want to, but I know that if I don't, he will find other ways to get me to come.
The knight responded, sighing to herself.
Sorry I had to put up with him pestering you.
I've dealt with way worse than that thing.
Jennie, the sorceress, stated. She gave the knight a gentle pat on her shoulder.
Would you like me to come with you? Or should I stay out here?
If you don't mind, I'd rather be alone with the beast.
Of course. Though, if you need me in there, my invitation still stands.
The knight nodded before she approached the double doors that were as tall as the hallway itself. She pushed on the left and closed it behind her without making a sound. She looked over the library. This is where her younger brother spends most of his training time now. He is the only soul left in Labyrinth who is training to become a magic user, so Jennie and the royal sorcerer, Pharaoh, decided to hold extra private classes for her ease. She walked across a large room. She felt tiny against these vast bookshelves. Across the other side of the room lay 2 desks, one for each of the royal magic users. A few feet behind them lay a podium, where a thick book was leaned up against its holder. The book, despite seeming undisturbed and lifeless, revealed 2 eyes at the front of the cover. They were a pale grayish red with bright red pupils shaped like diamonds. The book's binding was damaged and the pages looked old and musty, reflecting the soul that was held inside the object.
Well, well, look who finally decided to pay me a visit.
Save the small talk.
The knight cut the book's voice off.
Cut to the chase and tell me what you want.
What?
The book gasped dramatically with its fanged mouth.
No big speech? What is this new generation of leaders,
The knight kept her posture perfect, despite sounding increasingly bored by the book's antics.
Only at big events, or to people who actually matter. Now, tell me what you want.
The knight demanded.
Take off your helmet. I asked to see you for a face-to-face conversation. Or, I guess, a face-to-cover conversation.
The book laughed at his own joke. The knight grunted. She didn't want to comply. She wanted to shout from the rooftops that he had no control over her. But he did. He lived in the very room her brother trained in. He would surely disturb him and drag him into a mess that was her own problem.
What'd you expect to see? A teary-eyed little girl?
The knight asked, beginning to mock.
If so, you are bound to be disappointed, you bindless book.
Her insults fall deaf upon his ears as he casually responds with,
No, I know you better than that.
The knight gives in, removing her helmet to reveal a frustrated face. The book studies her, making a small noise.
You cut your hair? Looks messy.
He was right. It wasn't even at all.
I was, until Miss Yala came to me and said you wouldn't shut your cover.
The redhead stated, running her hand through the back of her hair.
It just got in the way during fights. It was a nuisance, much like you are.
Once again, the insults are ignored. The book seems to like this chat and wants to keep it going, despite completely changing it.
I bet you have all those other knights at your knees.
The book begins calmly before adding,
Especially Leonaton's son.
Something in what he had said angered the red-haired knight.
Don't you dare speak ill of my order,
She demanded, approaching as she pointed her index finger at him with an aggressive look in her eyes.
I can hear the venom in your horrid voice.
You are no fun whatsoever, little knight.
The knight scoffed.
You know what? This was a waste of time.
She said before turning on her heel.
If this game is all you wanted me to come for, then I'm leaving. Enjoy another decade of solitude.
She was about to walk away when the book spoke again.
No, there is a point to this.
The knight sighed angrily before turning back to face the book, who had a wicked grin.
See, you still stay to listen to me. Though it is nice to see you have the attitude of your mother.
Ironic, coming from you.
The knight said bitterly.
You're the reason my parents are dead.
The book smirks.
Well, what I wanted to say was, Happy birthday, Red.
The knight looked disgusted, her fists clenching.
I don't want your pity.
She shook her head, angry.
This was a waste of time.
she said before shoving her helmet back on her head.
I should have known better than to come to you.
Was the last thing she said before she stormed across the room.
But you did. And you will be back.
The book taunted before letting out a wicked laugh that echoed across the room. The knight doesn't look back at the book, slamming the door behind her. The knight turned to look at the concerned sorceress.
The next time he asks for me, it will be my sword through his cover.